Welcome to another edition of Broad Mind, where we explore the minds of both writers and authors, and beyond. Today's special guest, actually we have two of them today, and we are going to do something a little different than we normally do, which is just have one author or writer. Today we're going to actually have two topics that go hand in hand, chances and challenges. Today I want to address something that I never got to the past two episodes that we had our guests. And of course, this show is supposed to be about our guests, our guest authors and writers. So some people have actually asked me, why don't we hear more from you, T? Well, because it's not about me. This is supposed to be a learning situation for everybody out there in TV land. It took me quite a bit of time to figure out what I wanted to say, but I wanted to talk a little bit about our humble beginnings of Broad Mind. I'm not very good with my feelings or expressing them on camera, or instead I do writing and some people think I just rant. What you see today is not the person who you might have seen last year. I'm going to talk about chances. And you're looking at someone who took many of them, and I really think they paid off in a big way. If there was ever a book that could explain my situation, it would probably be in a children's format and be called The Jaded Little Princess. I fell out of love with my community and my town for a number of years, for over 2 decades. It was just something that happened within the family, and I never really knew how to get it back. I mean, I know how to have fun and everything, but it was never in the town of Windsor. And that all changed with some absolute inspiration. And it's really tough for me to explain everything, but I did not go to a psychic, and I did not throw a penny in a wishing well for anything to happen. It just did. Something happened to me in September, and I am so grateful for the people who came into my life during then. They know who they are. And it got the ball rolling. Like I said, I'm not good with my feelings or anything like that, but you know who you are. That was the catalyst of things to come, and even though I had help and inspiration and everything like that, and I know that they're used to it. They're just simply used to helping others. But for me, it meant a great deal, and I started taking chances. And that's the thing. I don't care if it's a book or getting an award or anything. You have to take advantage of opportunities. Too many times in the past, and even continuing on, I see too many people giving excuses as to why they can't do things just for themselves, you know, whether it is a book or whatever. And especially artistic people, and as they say about artistic people, we're like rule breakers. We do our own thing, and that's what I feel I needed to do. And I started taking incredible chances on stuff, and I managed to dance in the rain at a show outside. I ate the hottest chili pepper known to mankind. I went to my first Oktoberfest. I went to a dance just recently and danced like nobody else was watching for about 4 hours. I have talked with so many people. I have connected with so many and reconnected with people. I have gained back confidence that I have not been able to show or share for years. And you'd think, oh, no big deal. You know, you're just outgoing and that's it. Yeah, you have your own show now. But it was not always like that. Also in September, I had the opportunity to be a guest on somebody else's author show, and I brought it over here to share with all the Win TV audience and Windsor in general and everybody else out there in TV land. And I was told that Windsor needs something like this too. So I had it in the back of my mind that for a long time, maybe this could work. And by October, the idea was planted even more so as I talked with more people who expressed to me that they wanted to write a book, they didn't know how to and everything like that. And I didn't know if I could do it, and I learned a very, very important lesson in that, and I don't want this to sound bad or anything, but sometimes the greatest handicap is fear. It is fear of the unknown, fear of judgment, and fear of rejection that just lives inside of us. And I admit I had a lot of it. There was at one time, over 10 years ago, I had a little lesson where it was a drummer who had just overcome cancer, and he was talking about goals and everything, and he said to me, the one thing that stops you between you and your goal is yourself, and that is the fear. And what I want to tell everybody is that if you have a book you want to write, do it. Write your story. I don't care what it is. Take 10 minutes to write poetry, lyrics, or whatever. Just do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you write too much. There's no such thing, because as Shannon has demonstrated, she needs to write. She's dependent on it, and she's expressed and shared with us in the form of fantastic 5 books in the span of 6 years. I can't even do. I've written 2, yeah. But getting back to everything, I never expected anything to happen for myself. I'm the first one to tell you that. And I'm really, really grateful for the show. And in December, we were up for being honored at what we call the Ollies. It's our forefathers being Oliver Ellsworth. And this little gem may be a plastic statue with metal coating or whatever, but for me, I do not look at it as an award. I look at it as a reward. It's a reminder to show what I have accomplished as a human being and as someone who took a chance on our community and town. And this means so much to me because there was no nominations, and it's not an Emmy, not a Grammy or anything. It's not done by your peers or anything. There's no competition. It is truly based on what means the most, and that is serving my town, which I lost my heart to about 22 years before. And like I said, I've managed to do so much now, and I am so grateful to a variety of people, not just one, but this show means an awful lot to me, and we are going to continue on with having fantastic and inspiring guests. But first of all, I'd like to introduce our guest, our two guests today, and they are Shannon Mazurick and Judy Mazurick.
Hello.
Her mother. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Guys. I want to start out by explaining a little bit about Shannon, in that she is a 2004 graduate of Avon High School and a 2008 graduate of the University of St. Joseph. She earned her bachelor's degree in English with a minor in psychology and her master's in interactive media from Quinnipiac University in Hampton. Her Gemma series, which I will introduce to you very soon, has just been named among the best in family-friendly media, products, and services, and are Mom's Choice Award honoree recipients. Mom's Choice Awards is an international awards program. It is considered unique within award standards, and it's a site that promotes family-friendly products and services for children and families. Now, as we get to the show here, we have 5 books which Shannon has written herself. They are Poetry as the Years Go By. It's this one. Reflective Poetry, Petals of the Heart. I'm glad these are in order. The Gemma series, which is a set of 3 children's books. The Search for the Gem. Gemma, The Treasure Hunt with Griffin, and Gemma, The First Day of School with Honoré. I'm first going to start out by asking Judy, who is Shannon's mom. Thank you for being on the show, too.
Thank you for having us.
Can you give us like a little background on Shannon and what challenges she's gone through in her humble beginnings?
She was a full-term pregnancy, and I had a difficult delivery where she had trouble coming into this world. So she had forceps that were delivered. She had facial palsy from the forceps, which I didn't realize till later on in life contributed to her form of birth trauma, which they labeled her birth trauma ? Cerebral palsy. And my husband and I, we went to many doctors, and everyone was not quite sure exactly if she would be challenged mentally, physically, or whatever. So I just treated her as a normal child. I fed her and loved her and gave her all the nourishment, and started a birth to 3 program because she couldn't sit up and she couldn't walk at the specific time. So we ended up seeing neurologists and all kinds of doctors, and it turned out where they did surgeries on her and her hips and her ankles, and I'm just so proud of her because I feel after everybody's had dibs in her. I mean, I've been to Boston, I've been to Yale, I've been to UConn, I've been to Children's Hospital, and nobody, not one doctor could really totally diagnose except for birth trauma ? Cerebral palsy. So I worked with the school systems and worked at birth to 3, and as soon as the therapist said, she's not going to walk or anything, I just said, you're fired. And I was her rock, and our family always said, keep going, Shannon. And she had trouble speaking, and from there she ended up going to school, always excelling, made friends, never had problems.
Awesome.
Been very proud of her. Here she's 28 years old, and she's an author, as you've said, and I just supported her financially and I loved her, and basically she's been my rock also.
Wow. I gotta say congratulations for raising actually a beautiful and very inspirational human being.
Thank
too.
you. I'm very
Yes.
proud of her, as I am my son.
As you should.
I have a 25-year-old son also, and he's doing well, and I'm just very proud of Shannon. He's her younger brother and loves her very much.
Oh, just terrific. I want to get to Shannon now by asking a few questions. How old were you when you started writing?
I started writing as a child. I still have paper books that I wrote in elementary school. In college, during my undergraduate studies, I studied and received my bachelor's degree in English. After receiving my bachelor's degree, I began publishing. I currently have 2 published poetry books and 3 published children's books. Recently, each of the 3 children's books received the Mom's Choice Award. Besides publishing, after receiving my bachelor's degree, I completed another writing course, and then received my master's degree in interactive media.
Wow. Really inspirational. What obstacles did you have to face as a writer with challenges such as yourself?
Writing has been more of a positive for me, and I haven't had many challenges as a writer. Writing allows me to have more of a voice. I do type with one finger, so that can be a challenge, since it's time-consuming. Also, as you can see, I use a communication program through a computer program. It speaks what I type. I publish, but I also write to communicate. In order to get the computer program to speak correctly, I can't always follow the rules of English. Sometimes I need to spell words incorrectly and add extra punctuation. However, writing is a gift for me. It is a way of communication and expression.
Well, I want to get back to Judy and ask you, since she's talking about the program that she had, can you explain what kind of program she has on the computer?
I forgot. It's a communication device that we searched out for many years, especially during her school years, because back then there wasn't anything accessible for Shannon to use in school that would allow her to communicate easier throughout the school. So it was difficult for her to become part of the classroom. So my husband and I searched out, and it's, what's it called, Write Out Loud, Shannon? And it's fairly old, right? And I really would love to see her get something new. But I don't know if you know Stephen Hawkins. I mean, he actually uses this form of technology. That movie that was just out, what was that movie called? I forgot the name of it.
I know I heard of it, but I can't remember it either.
I know, it's a wonderful, Shannon and I watched it. It's extremely inspiring. A Theory of Everything, I believe it's called, right? The Theory of Everything. And it talks about Stephen Hawkins, and Shannon has similar, you know, he had a different type of disability. He's still alive and writing, and he had a family, and you know, I mean, I'm just so proud of Shannon.
Yeah, it's terrific. Getting back to Shannon, did you have any major influences growing up?
My family has always been a major positive influence on me. They are encouraging. Growing up, I was taught to never give up and to follow my dreams.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Thank you. I'm just proud of her. I just thank you for having us here too.
Oh, no problem. I absolutely love having different guests on, and like I said so many times, it's wonderful to have someone who is an inspiration. How did you come to the decision you should get published?
I came to the decision to publish because I believe I have messages to share. Everyone has something to offer the world. If they know what that is, they should pursue it. Don't let other people influence you.
Wow. I usually ask our guests if they have a certain style or method to writing, so I'll ask her, are there any methods you use to write?
As I mentioned before, I type with one finger, so that can be time-consuming. Like with everything in life, with determination and hard work, anything can be accomplished. With writing, I simply keep working and don't give up.
So we should all learn from something like that, for sure. What made you decide to write children's books and poetry books?
I started with publishing poetry books because during my undergraduate studies, I took poetry courses, which resulted in a collection of poetry. I decided to add to it and to organize the poetry into books. For the children's books, I hope to send a message to readers that everyone has special qualities and we should be proud to be ourselves. All 5 of my books deal with life and understanding what is important.
I'm going to take just a moment, and I don't know if it would be okay, but can I actually read one of the poems so I can show the audience just a little bit of your writing? I'm going to take page 4 from Poetry as the Years Go By. The Robin Return. Robins are signs of spring. Make a wish, count to 3. Spring is a time for glory. Little creature, red-breasted, bright and bold, comes back when there's no sight of cold. Build nests, take care of young, hunt for worms here until summer ends and fall returns. A survivor, a traveler, timid and cautious, never miss a thing. Oh, tiny birdie, make my wish come true. I spotted you, so you know what to do. 1, 2, 3, spring.
Yay.
Another thing, besides being an accomplished author and writer, you were quite the artist, too. Shannon actually did the artwork for both of these covers. Now that's something to say for an author, because not often do we, us, whatever, have the vision to do something like this, to pick out a picture and say, I think this will sell the book. But you're just tremendous, you know. I can't say enough about that. But so my next question, of course, is: it's my understanding that you have your own artwork was used for the poetry books. Very, 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 very nice. Did you have any formal training as an artist?
Thank you. I have taken art classes in school and in college. I also took a few classes privately.
Wow. My final question for you is, what is next?
I'm currently working on multiple projects simultaneously.
Wow.
However, there are 2 projects that are getting more of my attention than others. I'm excited about the future.
Bet you are. It is just such a tremendous honor to have both of you on, because, like I like to say, you know, it's not for one person and it's for the other. I deeply respect the parents who bring up their children in this way, and you've done so much, and it's obvious to see that she's your inspiration, you're her inspiration. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. You never gave up on her.
Thank you. I would never. I love her so much, and I'm very proud of her.
I didn't get to ask this, but I'll ask you, Judy. What year did she start to write these books?
Oh boy, what year was that? 09, was it? Wow, 09. I remember she did the artwork. I actually have the original artwork hanging in my house of the sailboat on the first poetry book. And that was in 8th grade, wasn't it? That she won the award for that sailboat. Wow.
And it's my understanding that she also has a book trailer for one of her Gemma series. Which one is that?
I didn't know that.
Is it Search
This
for
one.
Gem?
Oh. Both of them. Oh, I didn't even know
Oh,
that,
you did both?
Shannon.
Oh, you did two. Oh boy. Well then, we're going to have to take a look at the book trailer for Gemma, The Search for the Gem.
Gemma, The Search for the Gem, by Shannon Mazurick, and illustrated by Joshua Allen. Gemma is a sweet, kind girl. She enjoys helping out in any way she can, because it makes her feel good inside. One day, while her mom is busy, she decides not to interrupt until her mom is free. While waiting, she overhears her mom talking about a gem. Gemma starts looking for the gem as she heard her mom mention how she had it. She looks everywhere for it. She searches in all of the places she can think of where her gem might be. Unable to find it, Gemma fears that she has lost the gem. Worried that she will disappoint her family, she doesn't want to face them. Will Gemma find the gem, or did she truly lose it? Find out by reading the book titled Gemma, The Search for the Gem, by Shannon Mazurick, and illustrated by Joshua Allen. The book is available through authorhouse.com, amazon.com, the Barnes & Noble website, and other sites.
Just tremendous.
Thank you.
And for the second one, Gemma, The Treasure Hunt with Griffin.
Gemma, The Treasure Hunt with Griffin, by Shannon Mazurick, and illustrated by Joshua Allen. Gemma is a sweet, kind girl. She enjoys helping out, and she likes being a big sister to her brother, Griffin. One day, their dad asks Gemma to watch Griffin while he does something. Griffin falls asleep, and Gemma decides to check with her dad. Her dad is busy, and she decides not to interrupt. While waiting, she overhears her dad talking about a treasure. Gemma starts thinking as she hears him mention her and her brother. Griffin always watches this one movie. It is about a treasure hunt. When Griffin wakes up, Gemma convinces him to go on their own treasure hunt. Secretly, Gemma hopes that Griffin will lead her to the treasure that she overheard her father mention. Griffin takes Gemma all over, and although Gemma can't see what Griffin is talking about, she continues to follow him. Will Gemma get Griffin to lead her to the treasure, or will she discover a different treasure? Find out by reading the book titled Gemma, The Treasure Hunt with Griffin, by Shannon Mazurick, and illustrated by Joshua Allen. The book is available through authorhouse.com, amazon.com, the Barnes & Noble website, and other sites.
Once again, I want to thank the both of you for being on the show. Shannon, you're absolutely terrific. And Judy, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Wonderful. It's about all the time we have left. The best chance you can do is take the chance with your heart, because that's what means the most. Your passion, everything else will follow. I am T.L. Rotkiewicz. You have been watching Broad Mind. Until then.